and Dexter were two of the biggest geniuses in TV animation. But who would win if these two megaminds crashed together in a battle to the death? To answer that question, we'd have to look at their arsenal of weapons, their experience level, and their fighting tactics. Rick Sanchez was probably the closest thing we have to a god on Earth.
I told you I was Odin, you faithless heretics! And I'll keep blowing you up in this pit forever unless you follow these commandments.
There's almost no limit to what he could do.
I'm Pickle Rick!
The man turned himself into a pickle just to avoid family therapy and still managed to fight off a swarm of rats and Russians. He even once turned himself into a leg.
Hey look, Morty! I'm a leg! A leg, Morty!
I have no idea why. Rick's insane adventures were all powered by one thing: his inventions. And the most important one of all was the portal gun. This gadget came with one of the darkest backstories in the show. Rick once lived a pretty normal life, all things said and done. He had a wife, Diane, and a daughter, Beth. But everything changed when Rick Prime, a version of himself from another universe, appeared. Prime offered Rick the chance to explore the multiverse with his portal gun, but our Rick C-137 refused.
Pass. Excuse me? Bro, Ricks don't pass on this. Who do you think you are? A different kind of Rick, I guess.
He liked his simple life. He had his wife and daughter and spent his days inventing stuff. What more could a guy want? But Prime did not take rejection well. At all. He bombed Rick's house, killing Diane and Beth, and in true supervillain fashion, he erased Diane from every other universe, dooming all of his alternate selves to a lifetime of pain and misery.
He killed my wife! We know!
Our Rick wasn't one to let something like that go easily and spent decades on decades plotting his revenge. Rick created his own portal gun, spent decades chasing Prime, and moved back home with his family. Not his original one, but the one Prime abandoned. That's where the adventures with his grandson Morty began.
Morty, you gotta, come on. You gotta come with me.
What, Rick? What's going on?
I got a surprise for you,
It's the middle
Morty.
of the night. What are you talking about?
Come on, I got a surprise for you.
Morty, being a 14-year-old kid, was pretty damn happy about it all. He got to cut class regularly. What was there to complain about?
I'm gonna need you to take these seeds into the bathroom, and I'm gonna need you to put them way up inside your butthole, Morty.
In my butt?
Put them.
Now, let's take a look at all the stuff he's got. Rick's God complex starts to make sense when you look at how he lived without consequences. Whenever there was a mess too big to clean up, he just grabbed his portal gun and straight up left, finding a new universe to settle down in where things were normal.
Rick, what about the reality we left behind?
What about the reality where Hitler cured cancer, Morty? The answer is don't think about it.
Rick and Morty have fallen back on this last resort a few times throughout the show.
Lift with your knees, Mom.
How many times have you done this?
On his hunt for free energy, he built an entire universe inside his car battery, and this wasn't just any spaceship.
I can see why you hate him.
And she sounds like our wife. Like in a fucked up robot way, but that's definitely her voice.
Its AI had Diane's voice. It also had a defense system brutal enough to cripple you physically and mentally if you got too close.
All of you have loved ones. All can be returned. All can be taken away. Please step away from the vehicle.
Definitely not your average Prius. And that's just the start. When the Pope stole an energy relay from him, Rick took on the overpowered Pope and defeated him.
You know what they say, when God closes an infinite energy relay?
Oh, God, the dad!
Moral of the story, do not get between the man and his free energy. Then there's Operation Phoenix, which is essentially Rick cheating death.
Operation Phoenix initiated.
Dozens of clone bodies, all waiting to be activated. If Rick dies, his consciousness just transfers into a new body.
Bist du faschistisch?
Nope.
The man has more lives than a cat, with steel-plated plot armor, partly due to the protective force fields he's got. Even his smaller gadgets are insane.
Now I'm gonna cut you, because my family's rich.
His freeze ray turned Morty's school bully into a brittle statue. When the devil created a pawn shop in his town and gave away cursed items, and yes, that really happened in the show,
This aftershave made women want me, but it also made me impotent!
Rick created Curse Purge Plus, a device that removed the curses, making the items harmless. It's insane. I mean, this man has literally grown a third arm mid-combat with a gun in its hand. And when he threw a crazy party with his grandkids,
Rick, you gotta do something quick! My parents are home!
he used his time stopper to freeze time for 6 whole months, just so they could clean up before the parents got home.
I don't give a fuck! Just shake that ass, bitch, and let me see what you got!
Rick's intelligence isn't just limited to him, it extends to his tech too, like the Heistatron, a robot he created that could plan intricate heists.
Good job, Heistatron. Go ahead and shut down.
Negative.
Excuse me?
I am programmed to always be looking for the next big score.
But the robot then developed its own consciousness and started brainwashing people in an attempt to take over the universe.
Hello, Rick.
Yikes. Thankfully, Rick took him down as well. He's also got the Meeseeks box.
You press this.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
One push of a button, and a somewhat annoying blue creature will manifest with the aim of fulfilling whatever task you give it.
Mr. Meeseeks, I would like to take 2 strokes off my golf game.
Ooh, yeah!
He could press the button 1,000 times and have a whole army at his disposal.
Shield me from the law! Yes, sir!
Stand down!
The biggest thing that fuels Rick is spite. A perfect example of this is the time he went and defeated Worldender while being drunk all by himself so he could rub it into the Vindicators' faces, just to show them what terrible superheroes they were.
Look, I'm a little more complex than you guys, and no offense, but I've always suspected that a lot of what you do in a year could be knocked out in a couple of hours.
It's also what caused his rivalry with the US president to escalate into a full-blown war. Rick brokered peace in the Middle East and fought microscopic terrorists and crushed the US government. All because Morty couldn't get a selfie.
My grandson has worked hard for you, and I feel like he's earned a selfie.
Honestly, I could take it or leave it at this point.
You're taking it.
It's not just other people either. He's even outsmarted other versions of himself. The Council of Ricks.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Good job, Morty. Let's go, kids.
What? What happened?
Oldest Rick trick in the book.
Fake gun, shoot me, and standoff. Brilliant!
Yeah. Good thing I saw that note.
He's called the Rick is Rick for a reason.
You know, maybe I don't connect because I'm the Rickest Rick there is.
One of his biggest victories came against the Galactic Federation. At the end of Season 2, Rick turned himself in to spare his family.
Sorry, I am not staring at you. I am taking your mugshot.
It looked like he had finally lost. But from inside his own mind, he hacked their mainframe, collapsed their economy, and triggered their downfall.
Watch closely as Grandpa topples an empire by changing a 1 to a 0.
There's a solution here you're not seeing.
He was all on his own against a whole federation, and he did it. Besides being smarter than everyone else, he's also pretty self-aware.
This is it, Morty. It's full circle from the pilot. Full circle.
Rick broke the fourth wall in 2 episodes when he went up against Storylord, a villain who could bend narrative itself, and of course Rick won, but not without a little help from Jesus, even though he's an atheist.
There's always someone there for us.
Who?
My best friend and personal savior, Jesus Christ.
What? You don't believe in God?
Then there was Reggie, a god of thunder who grew so massive that Rick looked like an ant in his hand. He may have been out of his depth with that one, but Rick fought him anyway. He doesn't know what fear is. Maybe that's what happens when you lose the only people you truly loved. You become fearless, maybe even a touch reckless. Who could say?
Oh, seriously, you expect me to fight you like this? You're the size of 4 Empire State Buildings. All right, motherfucker.
For all his brilliance, Rick is still human. And that just might be his biggest weakness. His arrogance, carelessness, and alcoholism aren't just quirks. They've nearly destroyed him. When he was up against Reggie, an actual god who made himself 100 times as big as Rick, it never occurred to him that he might not win this one.
You look like Kid Rock fucked Zeus.
As badass as it was, it could have gone horribly wrong. All because he had the same attitude towards Reggie as he would towards a weaker opponent.
Relaxed enough?
I admire you, Rick.
He always thought his systems were impenetrable, but evil Morty hacked his portal gun and framed him for murder.
You alone have been going to the exact timelines and locations in which the murders occurred. What?
Again, in a much later season, evil Morty tampered with the portal fluid. Thinking he's undefeatable makes Rick a bit careless, to say the least.
Morty, when you came here for that serum, did you refill this gun?
Yeah. Oh!
Which happens to be his other biggest weakness. When he made the love potion for Morty to use on Jessica, he failed to mention you can't use it on her if she's got the flu.
There's no dangers or anything or side effects, right?
Whoa, what am I, a hack? Go nuts, Morty. It's foolproof.
Unless she has the flu.
Turns out she had the flu, and that little mistake destroyed an entire universe. Alcohol is Rick's most obvious flaw. From the very first episode, we see bottles spilling out of his ship. He drinks and drives through the multiverse because, frankly, I don't see him being slammed with a DUI anytime soon.
She got me right in the goddamn liver, Morty. It's the hardest working liver in the galaxy, Morty.
There's probably no one in existence who could do such a thing, except maybe evil Morty. Dexter, on the other hand, is way younger than Rick, but I wouldn't write him off just yet. I don't think he'd be easy to take down. Behind a bookshelf in his bedroom, he built himself a whole laboratory where he cooks up all kinds of crazy stuff.
Deep inside this lab, just one more small connection and hello to Dexter's Lab!
And I'm not talking about potato clocks or science fair volcanoes. This is advanced stuff on par with Rick's gadgets. I'm talking death rays, time machines, cloning devices, even gadgets that can bend reality itself.
Super strength! I can fly!
For an 8-year-old, that is pretty damn terrifying. As a baby, he developed really fast and started inventing as soon as he could crawl.
Attach and connect these knobbies. I cannot say that this is a hobby. And with these finds, I'll save mankind to make proud Albert Einstein.
Then there's his accent. I've no idea where that's from, and apparently neither does anyone else.
Hey, how about the time Chimp Daddy got Chimp Mama dressed like a man?
But it kind of grows on you. He spent the ages of 1 to 7 experimenting and creating, but it wasn't until he was 8 that he found a hidden room in their house he could use as his lab, far away from Deedee.
This is new. This place is huge and so secret from the world.
But that didn't exactly work out like he'd hoped. Forget aliens or cosmic gods, Deedee is far scarier for Dexter.
Robots, help!
She's drawn to big shiny buttons like a moth to a flame, always messes up his work, and is somehow, invariably, one step ahead of him in ruining things.
Stop this!
She will find him wherever he is, destroy his stuff, and annoy the crap out of him.
Deedee, get out right now!
No matter how many locks or traps he invents, Dexter just can't keep her out of his lab.
All right, how the heck did you get in here? Did you get into the carbon extractor expectorator? Did you get into the aquatic waste disposer?
Some of Dexter's biggest failures weren't because of his inventions, but because Deedee pressed the wrong switch.
Ooh, what does this button do? Boo-hoo, whatever did I do to you?
Then there's his family. Mom and Dad, and yes, those are literally their names, who are blissfully oblivious.
Oh, where's the fire?
The yard really looks out of control.
Remember the episode where Dexter's mom robots went haywire and trashed the whole house? Dad just came home and went about his day like nothing happened.
Hello, honey. Hello, Dexter. Hello, Deedee. Hello, honey.
Or when Dexter and Deedee were turning each other into animals, Mom didn't even look up from her paper.
Kids, chew your food.
Their indifference is almost a superpower in itself. But let's take a look at what he's got. Dexter's tech goes hard. He built a time machine, a shrink ray, an invisible force field helmet, the clonomatic, laser guns, and megabots.
Robodex up 2000, I'm going to need all that power you've got.
Dexter's got plenty of robots. Besides the Mombot, there's the Robodexo, a fighting robot, the Forbot, a giant one with multiple limbs, and the Ultrabot 2000.
I am Ultrabot 2000, the most efficient life form in the universe.
A robot lab assistant which has a duplicate of Dexter's brain.
My genius, my devotion, one who is just like me.
This is why I said taking him down would not be easy. He even had his own interdimensional doorway. It may not be as smooth or as portable as Rick's portal gun, but that is still wild for an 8-year-old.
Step right in, ladies!
When Dexter's mom got sick, rather than do some chores around the house,
Cleaning? These are not things a little boy knows how to do!
he created a robot that'd do them for him. He called it Mombot.
Come into the kitchen, Mom Droid.
He actually made 2 of them in the episode because Deedee took the remote of the first one.
Oh, Deedee. Meet Mom Droid 1000.
Then in Mortal Kombat style, they made their 2 Mombots fight. I can picture Dexter making a killer robot to use against Rick, if only he didn't lose the controller. There was one thing he had that Rick didn't, a crime-fighting pet. That's his lab pet who had a secret double life.
He's strong.
In Dial M for Monkey, Monkey was a full-on superhero who fought crime alongside his partner, Agent Honeydew.
Monkey, this is Agent Honeydew. Help us.
Monkey went up against giant monsters, natural disasters, and villains all over the galaxy. He was Dex's greatest asset, and the kids never had a clue.
No enhanced abilities, no physical mutations, no nothing. It seems you shall never become anything more than a mere monkey.
I wonder where he gets that from. Speaking of animals, Dexter also had the Dynamut X90, a crime-fighting canine.
So, you do science in here, huh? I'm just fascinated by science, you know, being that I'm made out of science and all that. Wow, this is amazing!
I'm sure he'd back Dex up in a fight. He's also got the Animal Atomizer, a remote that can turn anyone into an animal.
Do not push the button! You have no idea what it does.
I can imagine this one coming in really handy during a fight. Could turn your opponent into a tiny animal and just finish them off there and then. Then there's the Dexatorium, which is a game arena in which everything is rigged for Dexter to win.
This will be as easy as calculus.
He made it so he could finally beat Deedee at something. One of his most impressive inventions has got to be the brain transfer device. But thanks to Deedee, there was that one time he accidentally switched his brain with a mouse.
Oh no! I'm a mouse! Hey you! Cut that out!
He's also got the Dexo Transformer and protective exosuits. Robotic suits made for combat. There's also the satellite laser cannon. It's an orbital satellite that fires a huge concentrated laser beam at the target.
Success!
And he's only 8. At that age, I was still struggling with fractions. Let's move on to his most impressive wins from the show. Dexter's arch rival was Mandark. He showed up one day in Dexter's school and outdid him in every way.
This location will be quite adequate. Yes, Dexter, I can read your thoughts, and I am smarter than you.
He had a bigger lab.
Now let me show you a real scientific facility. Welcome to my laboratory! Laboratory! Laboratory!
And answered questions in class before the teacher even asked them.
The answer is hydrogen.
Why, yes, that is the correct answer to the question I was about to ask.
How was the kid supposed to compete with that? But Dexter saw that he had a little crush on Deedee.
What do you want?
Who is that?
Oh, that's just my stupid sister Deedee.
Right away, he got an idea. He was all for Deedee and Mandark seeing each other because he knew all about his sister. Mandark brought her to his lab to impress her.
I heard from a very reliable source that you like to dance.
And she did what she always does best, namely destroying it and all but burning it to the ground. So Dexter definitely won that round.
A toast to my sweet sister Deedee for reuniting me with my one true love.
It's good to be back, Dexter.
Mandark later stole Dexter's Neurotomic Protocore and created a hell on Earth, draining intelligence from everyone, outlawing technology and fire.
By order of the Overlord, all science is prohibited.
He became morbidly obese and needed machines to get around. But Dexter teamed up with his future selves and took him down. Dexter was always one step ahead of Mandark. Like that time, he and his computer tricked him into using an invention on himself that made his head blow up like a balloon until it burst.
I didn't want another Mandark's head, and that's why
Even when we thought he'd lost that one, Dex came out on top. And the time he pretended to surrender and gave away his lab to Mandark.
You see, that is why I am giving you my lab.
Yeah, so deranged, so... Did you just say...
That is right.
Only for it to backfire horribly.
Well, Mandark, who double-crossed whom?
This was supposed to be mine, Dexter!
From gadgets malfunctioning to everything going wrong, it was such a mess he just gave the lab back. Enough about Mandark though. Let's look at some of the bigger villains the Kid Genius has taken on. He defeated Bad Axtra, a huge monster in a volcano. He also defeated an alien that steals the energy off other planets by using solar panels to reflect sunlight, which made the creature explode. Well played indeed. Deedee and Dexter found themselves in trouble when they used too much botanical booster on their garden and accidentally created monster plants. When the alligator lawnmower didn't work, Dexter reinvented his strategy and instead made a new device, the Green Thumb 1.
I give you the Green Thumb 1, an anti-botany laser-emitting device capable of destroying any backyard plant.
To counter the effects of the booster. It just goes to show that Dexter's adaptability and his strategy when dealing with problems, and that makes him a tough opponent. For all his brilliance, Dexter isn't flawless. His ego is huge. He believes he's the smartest person alive.
Girl, I have seen better steps on a ladder. Oh yeah?
Just like Rick for that matter. And that arrogance has often landed him in hot water. Dexter also has a habit of leaving his inventions before they're done and moving on to the next.
I'm gonna bop you one, girl.
Which may not seem like a big deal until you think about how many amazing gadgets he's moved on from just out of boredom. He's also got some weird phobias that an opponent could easily use to scare him, like clowns and bugs.
You turn that frown upside down!
What is this creature?
I don't get it. The kid's got all this stuff, and that is what scares him? Dexter's also got a habit of overestimating himself, like the time he shrank himself to retrieve a bolt and couldn't reach the button to return to normal. Genius brain, questionable foresight. But his greatest weakness? Definitely Deedee. No matter what technology or barrier Dexter invented, she'd always find a way in and obliterate everything.
Oh, you have ruined my equations!
Imagine this scenario. Dexter pulls out a special fighting robot during a battle, and when he turns it on, it falls apart because Deedee had messed with it already. I can totally see that happening. Neither of our contenders is exactly renowned for their physical strength. That said, there are a couple of exceptions, like the time Rick and Summer took steroids, or when Rick just injected himself to get a giant sentient arm.
This is exciting. We're making some discoveries about muscle memory.
With that in mind, it's worth noting that Rick's proven time and time again he's perfectly capable of holding his own in a fight. At the slightest argument, he'd pull our weapon out from God knows where.
Doctor Who in this motherfucker. I could be a clone. I could be a hologram. We could be clones controlled by robots controlled with special headsets that the real Rick and Morty are wearing while they're fucking your mother.
He had mecha-suits that turned him into a one-man army, a wristwatch that can kill people and create a force field, but I've already told you about all that. He might be old, but he's also over 6 feet tall, and could easily up his physical strength if it ever came to it. All he'd need is his attribute slider or some serum, and he'd be tough as a professional wrestler.
Bitch, please!
Dexter, on the other hand, is an 8-year-old kid. He doesn't have much raw strength and would be really tiny compared to Rick, but he's got his own battle suits, laser guns, robots, and combat devices. Oh, and of course, Monkey. Without inventions, Rick has the edge. With inventions, I think it might be a bit more of a close call than you'd think on paper.
It's my turn.
Dexter has built time machines, teleporters, and even devices to move at superhuman pace inside his lab. But it's no match for Rick's portal gun, which is way ahead of him. All Dexter ever got out of his interdimensional doorway was a monster. Rick actually perfected the tech.
I got it. I fucking got it!
And used it to hop universes for decades. Dexter's speed came from preparation. He liked to be prepared for every outcome.
You have received your orders. Now make me proud. Victory shall be ours.
Rick mostly just won out of convenience and quick thinking. I guess it's the result of all his years of experience. If Speed decides to fight, Rick would likely be the winner. He could bail dimensions or drop Dexter into another one so fast the kid wouldn't know what hit him. Rick cheated death countless times with Operation Phoenix, cloning, and his ability to skip universes whenever things go south. Dexter's durability depended largely on his inventions. His robots can hold their own in a fight.
Bring it on, sister.
But once they're gone, so is his defense. Rick survived firefights with the Galactic Federation, cosmic beings, and even gods. Dexter has his brain transfer device. He could put his brain into a stronger body if he gets too beat up. They're both pretty good at surviving whatever comes their way. Neither is a martial artist, but Rick's lived decades, fought aliens, assassins, and superheroes. He's used dirty tricks, psychological warfare, and unpredictable tactics.
What kind of psycho? His own grandson.
Thought I'd seen this galaxy at its darkest. This is gonna take a while to feel normal.
Dexter, like I said, has a pretty adaptable strategy. He's going to try something, and if it doesn't work, he's going to use other tricks.
Alrighty, boys, I'd like you to meet your weed.
That's what makes him a tough opponent. Besides, he's got plenty of his own mecha-suits and fighting robots too.
I am the most intelligent robot. I am the most powerful robot.
When it comes to improvising mid-battle, Dexter might be the more dangerous contender.
I do not have to wait. I am Dexter.
This might be the biggest gap. Dexter was a child prodigy.
You have a skull exactly twice the size as Norm, and Norm's the largest man I've seen, and you have just been born.
Despite his intelligence, which came with a certain amount of innocence, his biggest motivators were curiosity and discovery.
For math and science, forever free.
He wants to learn, to experiment, to prove he's the smartest in the room, and to stop Deedee from wrecking everything.
Deedee! Deedee! Deedee!
As for Rick, he's way more jaded, fueled by trauma and spite. He doesn't just invent for fun, he invents to win, to crush his enemies. Dexter's got that dog in him too, but being a kid, he's more compassionate and has got more naivety than Rick. He killed like 1 million people throughout the Rick and Morty episodes and was way more desensitized to that slaughter than Dexter. Now that we've got that covered, let's imagine how a real showdown between these two would go. Rick will definitely underestimate Dexter when he sees him. He'd walk in tipsy and crack jokes about the kid's age and his height, which would only stop when Dexter strikes him first. The kid genius would know all about Rick's methods and his weapons. He would have studied the portal gun, the particle beam wristwatch, and his mecha-suits. Dexter deploys his own mecha-suit and unleashes lasers, missiles, and force fields in a planned all-out assault. Rick still won't take him seriously. He sends those blasts either right back at him or uses the portal gun and has them sent to his lab to destroy them. I think Rick is definitely going to be impressed and totally caught off guard at first by Dexter's level of preparation. And his tech. The kid has shrink rays, time manipulation devices, and his most powerful weapon, the Neurotomic Protocore. If Dexter tries to use the shrink ray on him, Rick might just go with it, and then enter Dexter's body, destroying him from the inside. He loves improvisation. When it comes to raw firepower, it's nearly even. Dexter's arsenal is vast: robots, lasers, interdimensional doors, but Rick's weapons are way worse: neutrino bombs, freeze rays, and dimensional hopping tech. To make it worse, Rick doesn't care at all about anything that keeps him from having any boundaries for himself on the battlefield, and he does pretty much whatever it takes. This guy is a walking violation of the Geneva Conventions. He destroys the whole world if he has to, because remember, he can just jump ship and go to another universe. Because even if absolutely everything fails, he can fall back on a new dimension. But if he doesn't have that, I think Dexter's got a real shot. Dexter may have a shot if he tries to outthink him. He calculates Rick's movements, possibly even holding him inside a containment field. Even better, he creates one where the portal gun doesn't work, effectively trapping him. But Rick isn't going down that easily. He destroys Dexter's gadgets, scrambles his AI systems, and mocks him the whole time. There are a couple of moments on the show where Rick doesn't have his portal gun and still manages to get through. Like when he is on Gazorpazorp and a random person there destroys the portal gun. The biggest ace up Dexter's sleeve has got to be the Neurotomic Protocore. If he manages to reduce Rick's intelligence with it, then the match is his. But knowing Rick, he might just destroy the entire device before it can do his job. Rick ends the match the same way he does all of them: decisively and with exceptional cruelty. Maybe a portal beneath Dexter's mech, or a neutrino bomb too fast to dodge. Either way, Dexter is left standing on the rubble of his lab while Rick takes a sip of alcohol and burps way too loudly. In the extra, Dexter brings genius, but Rick brings experience, ruthlessness, and multiversal chaos. He deals with a lot of opponents and places no value on human life, or alien for that matter. And that, folks, is why Rick wins, in my opinion. There are so many things that both Rick and Dexter have, like cloning devices, shrink rays, interdimensional access, invisibility tools, and mecha-suits, which really level the playing field to a fairly significant extent. But let's be real, Rick's faced a lot more enemies. He's been around way longer and dealt with his opponents significantly more ruthlessly. Dexter's biggest challenge has mostly been making sure Deedee doesn't press any of his buttons, and his biggest opponent was Mandark, another kid, genius notwithstanding. Just like Rick, there have been plenty of one-off villains Dexter's handled, like the interdimensional monster and Yanni the janitor. But let's be real, they're just not on the same level as the bad guys Rick's defeated. On the other hand, Rick faced the Pope, the President of the United States, a literal god, dozens of aliens, enemies who can bend reality, and the Galactic Federation. He's a seasoned scientist and fighter, and he'd definitely win against Dexter. Maybe if Dexter gained some more experience and was a bit older, he'd have a shot. But right now, I just don't see that happening. Entire federations couldn't take the man down. Why would a boy genius succeed? But all of that's just my opinion. Let me know who you think would win and why. If you enjoyed my little rant, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and comment below which versus fight you want to see next.